Ever since opening their doors in 2019, AEW has continuously struggled to push their highly talented women's division, and only recently with Mercedes Moné joining the company have they started booking them more prominently. But during some of their biggest lulls in the division's history, one female competitor was building herself up to be the company's newest megastar, Jade Cargill. And just take a look at her and you can see why. She has an aura that surrounds her with a confidence to match it, and in wrestling, you sometimes look at someone and say, they have the it factor. Well, Jade is one of those people, and AEW knew that, and as we saw during her most recent showings on WWE television, the world is seeing that too. So, my name is Grish with Wrestleology, and today, why don't we take a quick look at WWE's next big thing, and why Jade is such a huge deal in the new crop of WWE superstars. This is why Jade Cargill will be WWE's next megastar. Growing up on the east coast of Florida, Jade has always had a knack as an athlete. In high school, she competed in basketball, becoming a two-time champion in her district. This love of competition grew, of course, as it did when she played basketball in college as a part of the Jacksonville Dolphins. Her incredible skills on the court didn't stop her education, however, as she went on to receive a master's in children's psychology, showing her personal resilience as she thrived both physically and mentally. This success, combined with Jade's need for a new path in life, brought the attention of Mark Henry. Like I said, Jade has always been an athlete, and Mark Henry has been a part of WWE's scouting program for quite some time, even helping Bianca Belair, another WWE megastar, get started in the ring. And after watching her train for a bit, Mark knew that Jade could have a bright future in wrestling, as her drive and physical appearance could help her reach some crazy heights in the business. He would, in her words, mentor Jade as she started approaching a variety of wrestling schools. Mark initially brought her to the WWE Performance Center in 2019 before Jade went on to train in the Nightmare Factory, a school ran by QT Marshall and recently named EVP of All Elite Wrestling at the time, Cody Rhodes. And with Rhodes having access to some of the best wrestlers in the world like Dustin Rhodes and Bryan Danielson, Jade chose to stick with Rhodes as she slowly entered the wrestling scene. With this loyalty to the Nightmare Factory and with everyone seeing the potential in Jade, Tony Khan was able to swoop in and sign this up-and-coming star. With Jade envisioned by Khan as his next big female star, Jade showed up on screen in a massive way. On the November 11th, 2020 episode of Dynamite, Cargill silently entered the ring as Cody addressed those watching at home, with it almost being impossible to look away from her. After snatching the mic away from a confused Cody, Jade introduced herself to the world while tearing down Cody verbally. By the end, she made her animosity very clear, as she was there to tease the arrival of someone with his own issues with Rhodes, Shaquille O'Neal. With Jade already associated with greatness in Shaq, her name grew exponentially overnight. From there, Jade would have her first match teaming up with Shaq to take on Cody and Red Velvet on March 3rd, 2021, winning her debut match. And as we soon will see, this was only the first in a long line of victories for Cargill. To add to her aura as a big star in AEW, Cargill hired a manager from the form of Mark Sterling, silently picking up wins and appearing outside of the ring to build up that credibility. And Sterling saw a massive opportunity to help his client pick up some success in October of 2021. A tournament was announced to crown the first ever TBS champion, with Jade entering to try and capture her first piece of gold in pro wrestling. And after defeating Thunder Rosa and Red Velvet during the tournament, Cargill would find herself opposing Ruby Soho on January 5th, 2022. With this being Dynamite's first show on TBS, Jade took advantage of the opportunity by defeating Soho and becoming the inaugural champion. Not only that, but Cargill was now over a year into her AEW career, and she was still undefeated, now looking like a dangerous threat for anyone brave enough to challenge her for the title. Several women tried, but none were successful, as her undefeated streak continued to grow, and eventually, as she became more powerful in AEW, Jade would start to form a little clique around her. Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan, two women struggling in the undercard, joined Cargill as she led their new group. Going by the Baddies, this group would help build build Jade's aura and presentation even more, while also allowing her the chance to improve upon her skills in the ring. And with gold around her waist, an entourage of people, and even a personal lawyer to all complement her natural star power, Jade was looking as one of the biggest stars in all of AEW, not just in their women's division. As TBS champion, she continued taking on all comers, including Layla Gray, someone who would soon turn heel and join the baddies to replace an injured Velvet. But this addition did little to change Jade's dominance over the TBS title, with each new female star stepping up to the unstoppable Cargill, Athena, Madison Rayne, Diamante, did I say that right? I'm not sure, Nyla Rose, and more all challenged her, only to be stomped and swept aside after. Eventually, however, Jade would begin a feud with Taya Valkyrie, one of the biggest stars to come out of Impact Wrestling, and at 2023's Double or Nothing, Jade once again took the ring to defeat her, becoming 60-0 with nobody seemingly left to challenge her. That is, until Chris Statlander marched to the ring. Returning from a long string of injuries, Statlander was able to defeat an already weakened Cargill, becoming not only the new TBS champion, but also the only woman to ever defeat Jade in AEW, ending her whopping 508-day reign as champion. Chris would continue to defend the belt, defeating Jade again in their rematch on Rampage. Shockingly, however, this would mark Cargill's last match in the company. Yeah, now that she had established herself in the world of pro wrestling, Jade began receiving offers from everyone in the industry as she still oozed star power. Despite the loss to Statlander, after she let her contract expire with AEW, WWE still came knocking, and Jade happily took their offer. She quickly left Dynamite for the sunshine of Orlando, going to the WWE Performance Center once again as WWE's first signing following the launch of TKO. Afterwards, she made several appearances on television, debuting on screen at Fastlane 2023. However, while her presence and first introduction left fans eagerly waiting on the edge of their seats, Jade would continue training in the Performance Center, learning how to wrestle in the WWE style. She made her shocking in-ring debut during the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, which, fun fact, I was actually in attendance for, showcasing what makes her such a star, as her aura helped build up potential future matches against the likes of Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, and Bianca Belair. With her now ready to compete on the main roster, Jade signed with Nick Aldis on SmackDown to shake up the women's division. She quickly aligned herself with Bianca and the recently returned Naomi as the three women targeted Damage Control leading into WrestleMania 40, and there, in a 6-woman tag team match, Cargill picked up the pinfall victory for her team, with her silver look and always impressive physique becoming a highlight during an incredible WrestleMania weekend. This victory, along with her growing tension with Damage Control, led Jade and Bianca towards France, where they became the new women's tag team champions. So when it comes to what makes Jade Cargill so great, it's honestly hard not to just look at her. She just oozes charisma and charm, with her skills continuously growing in the ring. And as WWE continues to push her towards the front of their women's division, and as Jade continues to hold her own masterfully, it's safe to say we could be talking about the next generation's biggest star here. A lot of wrestler success comes from the elusive it factor, something that can't quite be described, but something that, if you have it, makes you a dangerous and powerful force in this industry. Jade has that it factor, perhaps more than anyone else on the roster, and as she continues to grow in the ring, it's safe to say that her star power will only continue to grow in the years to come. I mean, think of all the dream matches that we could potentially have when Jade Cargill becomes a singles competitor in the forefront of WWE's women's division. I'm not even going to say any because I'm sure that you can fantasy book those yourselves, but yeah, I think everything about Jade Cargill is insane, and that is why Jade Cargill will be one of the biggest stars in WWE's women's division for years to come. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you enjoyed.